Pradeep, who is joining us at this point in to help us with more details as to what exactly is happening in Israel. Pradeep, uh, the death toll and the devastation in Israel and in Gaza collectively has now mounted up to nearly 4,000, not exactly 4,000, but the destruction continues. And if we talk about Gaza, people in Gaza are, of course, facing the brunt of the entire war, especially people in Israel as well. So, what is the latest that you can share with us?
See, you rightly said the situation here is deteriorating with each passing day. There are no signs of de-escalation because Israel has already made up their mind that they are going to wipe out Hamas leadership. This is one of the reasons that they had asked the people to leave that area. But what is really a matter of concern is that Hamas terror organization, their leadership, they are playing a role of an obstructionist. They have already created a kind of a blockade on roads. They are preventing people from moving out because they had been using people as human shield. They had been firing from behind the population, and they want the civilian casualty. Not that they are their well-wisher, they want them to be there. They want them to stay for a purpose because they know once the ground assault by the Israeli troops is going to start, there will be civilian casualty, and that way they will be able to portray and project Israeli troops in bad light and project them as demons who have least consideration for the human rights. And this way the vicious cycle of violence will continue. That's actually their strategy is all about. This is one of the reasons that Israeli troops from time to time had been saying that they do not want any kind of a collateral damage, because when they're asking people to move from that area, they are not looking it at, there is no military logic behind this. The only logic is that humanitarian logic, because they do not want civilian casualty. And that's one of the reasons that we have seen that Secretary of State Antony Blinken was also touring these Gulf countries. He was in Egypt, where he has asked them to provide the kind of a green corridor from where the people can really move out. But yes, it's not that easy, because it is easy said than done. People leaving behind everything and just moving out within 2 or 3 days and leaving that place. But they have left with no other option also, because the kind of brutality and barbarism Hamas has resorted to, Israel is left with no other option but to invade Gaza. And we have already seen the stage 1 of the war is over, and stage 2 has already started. Just yesterday only we saw Benjamin Netanyahu visiting those forward posts, interacting with the soldiers and asking them whether they are ready for the stage 2, because stage 2 will be the ground assault. Already we have seen the helicopters have started hovering over areas. They've started conducting raid, a kind of a small surgical strike at some of the places where they had been able to eliminate many of the top commanders of Hamas. But unless and until they are not able to penetrate inside the Gaza, I think the fate of the war will not be decided, because that is going to be the final phase where they will be able to enter inside, and they will be able to take all those Hamas leadership and Hamas terror organization who are hiding there. Yes, there are going to be definitely various challenges. One of the challenges will be the terror tunnel network that is existing there. Second will be the roads are congested, because this is a large population, congested area. It will not be that easy for the armored vehicle and tanks to move in that area. And the second, that we have seen that already many of the buildings have been brought down, and rubble is also lying on the road, so it will be more difficult. But yes, the blueprint for the war is already made, because Israel know that all these difficulties can be there. How they are able to counter the Hamas, they have already made up their plan. Let's see how long it will take. But meanwhile, Americans are trying their level best that this should not escalate to other countries, because already Israel is fighting war at 2 fronts. One is on the southern front, from where Hamas is targeting them. Other is on the northern front, from where Hezbollah terrorists are targeting them. So they're fighting it on 2 fronts. They're trying to ensure that war should not spread out to other areas. Right now the tension is continuing, but at the end of the day, war never brings good news. It's always suffering, it's always tyranny, it's always terror for the common man. Whether it's in Gaza, whether it's in Israel, we saw that the brutality and barbarism from Hamas is leading to all the problems that right now people are facing in Gaza.
All right, Pradeep, many thanks for joining us and giving us the details there. Of course, let me just also ask you another thing. The world at this point in time is, of course, coming together in support of Israel. And specifically, if we talk about US President Joe Biden, who is planning to visit Israel in the coming days, and on the other hand, it is Antony Blinken, who will be visiting Israel once again, and he has reiterated that US will stand with Israel today, tomorrow, and forever. Also, if we talk about the UN chief, he has gone ahead and asked Hamas to release all the hostages without any conditions. So, a lot of support now coming in for Israel.
Hope the better sense prevails and Hamas people understand that by releasing hostage, at least they will be able to de-escalate tension in that area. But I don't think that they seem to be in a mood, reason being that because they are using this hostage only as a blackmailing chip, because they are trying to blackmail Israel, telling them that not to attack Gaza. If you attack Gaza, we are going to publicly execute. These are the statements coming from Hamas side. And it's not only that they have held Israel or people from other nationalities hostage, about 150 people. In fact, for the last several years, you can see they have even held Palestinian hostage because they are using them as human shield, because all their hideouts are in the populated areas from where they are targeting Israel by firing missiles, by firing rockets. And whenever there is a retaliation, obviously it is always the casualty of the civilians. And you rightly said that Joe Biden, anytime he can visit, there are speculations that maybe in coming days Joe Biden will be in Israel. Because reason being that we have seen that during the last few days there is a communication going on between Benjamin Netanyahu and Joe Biden, President of America. Off and all, they interact with each other on telephone. There had been several phone calls between them, and Benjamin Netanyahu had extended him an invite asking him to come out to this place. And we have seen that the United States have stood with their ally. And they are not only providing them moral support, logistic support, but also we have seen already how their warfare ships have reached the Eastern Mediterranean. Two of their destroyers and cruisers have already been there, because they are trying to plug that route from where they expect that maybe the weaponry will be coming to Hamas, and trying to further strengthen them. Second, they are providing surveillance. And third, they are trying to ensure that war should not spread to other areas, also trying to keep all those Gulf countries on their side. And that's one of the reasons that we have seen that Secretary of State Antony Blinken is right now touring different places. He was in Cairo yesterday, Egypt, where he was interacting with the leadership there, asking them to stay calm and not to become part of the war, which Hamas really wants to, because that way they will only be falling in the trap of Hamas. Hamas has already given a call for asking the brothers in different parts of the Arab world to come and support them in their war against Israel. But at the end of the day, it's not about homeland, it is not about Holy Land, it is simply about brutality and barbarism they resorted to. We'll leave aside the politics and the problems and differences between the two regions. But who has given them a right to kill the children, and what they really achieved by targeting those women, elderly people who have been interacting with the family members of the hostage? They are saying that many of them need right now the medicine. So at least the medicine should be provided, because some of them are suffering from so many ailments. So this is the situation on the ground. It's a very tense situation, I can say.
Right. All right. Pradeep, many thanks for joining us and continuously giving us all the details. We wish you stay safe, as you are, of course, reporting from Israel. We will be getting back to you for more details at this point in time. Let's